should an independent council be able, given that they have privileges to go over that kind of information, be able to look at that and go and be able to determine what is executive privilege, and then at that time, if that person determines that it isn't, then that person would then be brought before Senate and to discuss that? Or can we just allow someone just to say, you know what, we can't talk about this, for the next 25 years, and we'll never know what happened in there,
I'm not sure that independent counsel is necessarily appropriate, but I would certainly think that judiciary oversight, a council that's appointed by the Supreme Court, another, powerful area of government, I would think that the Supreme Court could say, if you have top secret clearance, you can sit on this committee, you have the right to see the information with the understanding that it's top secret until you say that it's not.
I think an example of that is that special court that was established, oh boy, I'm not exactly sure when this was, in the 1990s, I believe, to have judicial review over wiretaps.
Right.
Federal investigation, acronym stands for, but special court, that if we're going to wiretap people, you at least have this judicial proceeding was completely bypassed. And the irony of this special court requests that the government brought to it for wiretaps, but there was a review. But even that wasn't good enough. We had to just have these secret wiretapping steps take place, and that's just doing an end run around the whole process, and that's inappropriate. To involve some type of review, I think, of those decisions.
To discuss a little bit of current news here of what's going on in our government, I'd like to ask you guys a question. Do you think we should bail out the companies? And if so, what kinds of stipulations should we put on the money being loaned to these companies?
I think we should each get a free car.
Yeah.
There's the condition. We all get free wheels.
All right.
Yeah.
What was one of the things I actually heard of, with not us getting a free car,
Oh,
but
okay.
but that the government would actually put in an order for a specific kind of energy friendly car, and we'll buy 2 million cars
What are they going to do with them?
instead of what's that?
What are they going to do with them then?
What do you
What
mean?
would the government do with them after they purchased?
They would be for government cars, police cars, for mail cars, whatever. Instead of just giving them the money, at least at the end of the day, if we don't get our money back, we get cars.
I don't know if you're going to catch too many criminals in a...
Well, police cars may not. Yeah, police cars may not be good, but there's a lot of government cars that don't need to get into high-speed chases. So, all right,
At least we hope so.
they can still build fast cars for that, I guess.
I suppose you could have a Chevy go.
Well, something that struck me about this when it first came out, because I guess I didn't really have an opinion until I sat down and thought about going shopping for vehicles in Florida. And we'd stop by a Ford lot, because I really did want to buy a domestic. And so we go through the lot, and literally this entire lot down just outside of Orlando, Florida, is covered end to end in Mustangs. It's pretty much all they had, Mustangs and big SUVs and these huge vehicles. And as a consumer, I was looking at them saying, I want to be economic, I want to be green, I guess is the word, I want to be environmentally friendly. And so I asked them, well, do you have anything that gets over, say, 30 miles per gallon? And there was one used car in the back of the lot.
Yeah.
And in a Ford, it was an import.
Yeah.
And I remember actually, saying to the person with me at the time, this is insanity. How can you be in this economic time? How can you be in more than $2, a gallon gasoline and still be pushing this kind of antiquated model? As far as I know, it's the new model year, but it's an antiquated concept for cars. It's over muscled. It's
The government should look at this as an opportunity to change something. I mean, okay, I'm a small business owner. Nobody bails me out when I make a mistake.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one of the big three either. The big three, if they go down, what else happens? That's the thing, I mean, you get some of these, you know, just like in the lending, you know, field. Some of these companies crash, they have serious problems. So,
It's like a ship that sucks down everything around it.
you know, I'm not smart enough to know exactly what all the impacts are gonna be, nor is that my job to really figure it out. But something, I mean, something's gotta be done, I guess. But I would think they should use it as an opportunity. Say, okay, we're gonna change some stuff here. We're gonna get you building, but we're gonna have you building a little bit more of what we should be building instead of what you wanna build.
I think that's true, and that's kind of, you know, Fred's point about conditions on strings, on some type of assistance here. Maybe it is the I don't know if I'd call it a carrot on the stick, it's probably putting a gun to their head. Well, everybody's got a gun to their head.
Yeah.
Sure.
The auto industry has a gun. Well, maybe they need to turn it around and say, okay, but here's the deal. You're going to start actually producing the kind of vehicles that people should have. I think it's one of those things that is just, it's terrible and it stinks and it's goes against everybody's grain, but I think it has to be done. Because, what, last month, 500,000 people losing their jobs.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if we're prepared to have another 1.5 million people associated with the auto industry
Yeah,
lose their jobs.
Go live in Detroit now.
I don't,
I think
we've
now
got some
it's,
ghost towns in some of these auto cities.
now they're gonna have to, I think they have to bail them out to a certain extent, but I think now is probably a really good time to really get the union in check. I mean, when you figure that everybody's making $75 an hour in the auto industry with other benefits, that's ridiculous.
I agree with that.
And
And that's an example too, I think, about how so many of these things link together. I don't remember the specific information about this, but through the contracts that have been negotiated with the auto companies, I don't know if it's every auto worker or lots of them, essentially, let's say you retire. You've still got full health care coverage
yeah,
Right.
for life. Now, think of the huge impact that that's got on the auto industry. Think of the impact healthcare is, you know, you three guys dealing with school issues. And what kind of healthcare issues are affecting that? Healthcare is part of, indirectly, it's part of this problem with the auto
oh,
industry.
absolutely.
And so many of these solutions link together somehow, and I don't know how you make all the gears
No, I
turn
agree.
correctly, but it's like you pull on one string and it leads to something else.
Well, I totally disagreed with the $700 billion that was given away earlier this year to, you know, the bankers. And my main disagreement, I felt that there was a need, but I didn't feel that our government could handle it. I mean, already you heard that just the other day that the government is so fast it couldn't even keep track of it. I mean, how does that happen? You know, the checks and balances. We give these guys power. We say, okay, use $700 billion wisely, and 2 weeks later you find out they won't tell us who they gave it to, and then they also add in there, oh yeah, we can't even remember who we gave it to because we gave it out so fast. Yeah, that's back to it. We can't seem to get them to say, you know, who's responsible. And then when we finally do get someone to say, okay, you're responsible, well, the pardon comes down for